As with all Pokémon role-playing games released for handheld consoles, FireRed and LeafGreen are in a third-person, overhead perspective. The main screen is an overworld, in which the player navigates the protagonist. Here, a menu interface may be accessed, in which the player may configure his or her Pokémon, items, and gameplay settings. When the player encounters a wild Pokémon or is challenged by a trainer, the screen switches to a turn-based battle screen that displays the player's Pokémon and the engaged Pokémon. During a battle, the player may select a move for their Pokémon to perform, use an item, switch their active Pokémon, or attempt to flee. All Pokémon moves have power points. When a Pokémon tries to perform a move while awake, the move's PP is reduced by 1. When the PP of a move hits 0, the Pokémon is not able to use that move. All Pokémon have hit points. When a Pokémon's HP is reduced to 0, it faints and can no longer battle until it is revived. Once an opponent's Pokémon faints, all of the player's Pokémon involved in the battle receive a certain number of experience points. After accumulating enough EXP, a Pokémon will level up. Capturing Pokémon is another essential element of the gameplay. During a battle with a wild Pokémon, the player may throw a Pokeball at it. If the Pokémon is successfully caught, it will come under the ownership of the player. Factors in the success rate of capture include the HP of the target Pokémon and the type of Pokeball used. The lower the target's HP and the stronger the Pokeball, the higher the success rate of capture. While FireRed and LeafGreen are remakes of Red and Green, they contain usability enhancements such as a contextual tutorial feature, which allows players to look up data at any point in the game. Additionally, when continuing a saved game, players are shown the last 4 actions they performed, aiding in remembering what they were previously doing. The games support the Game Boy Advance Game Link cable, through which connected players may trade or battle. Players may also connect with Pokémon Ruby and Sapphire, as well as with Pokémon Colosseum, allowing them to obtain over 350 Pokémon. FireRed and LeafGreen also have the ability to connect to the GameCube and interact with Pokémon Box, Ruby, and Sapphire. In Pokémon Box, the player may organize and view their collected Pokémon, and in Colosseum, Pokémon may be used in battle. FireRed and LeafGreen are also the first games in the series to be compatible with the Game Boy Advance wireless adapter, which comes pre-packaged with the games. The adapter can be plugged into the link port of the Game Boy Advance system and allows players within a radius of 30-50 feet to wirelessly interact with each other. In addition, as many as 30 players at a time may join a special location called the Union Room, where they can trade, battle, or chat. Nintendo set up Joy Spots and Japanese retail locations for this purpose. Reviews of FireRed and LeafGreen were mostly positive, and the games currently hold an aggregate score of 81% on Metacritic. Craig Harris of IGN gave the games an outstanding 9/10 rating and praised the creators of the games for creating a game that works extremely well for the handheld market. It doesn't have quite the same variety as Ruby and Sapphire, but it's still incredibly satisfying. Harris was less positive about the game's graphics, which he thought were limited and basic. GameSpot's Greg Casavin, who gave the games 8.4 out of 10, commented that though Pokémon could probably use a few new twists, after all these years, FireRed and LeafGreen are great role-playing games on their own merits, filled with lots more content and more challenges than last year's Ruby and Sapphire, and offering up plenty of addictive gameplay that can be a lot of fun for players of all ages. Unlike Harris, Casavin praised the game's graphics for their colorful good looks and the endearing character designs that the series is known for. GameSpot later named LeafGreen the best Game Boy Advance game of September 2004. Game Informer rated the games a very good 8/10 for being a lot of fun, yet they saw the graphics as utterly unremarkable when compared to other handheld games. GameSpy reviewer Phil Theobald, who awarded the games 4 out of 5 stars, stated, "Before I knew it, I was hooked all over again." The engrossingly simple gameplay combined with the more strategic than they first appear battles was just too much to resist. And yeah, the gotta catch 'em all gimmick is still effective, not to mention necessary to build a well-balanced party. There's just something about tracking down, capturing, and training all those Pokémon that really draw you into the game's world. He justified the game's graphics by comparing them to the ugly original Red and Blue versions. Additional praise was given to the new features, such as the contextual tutorial and flashbacks when loading a saved game, as well as the game's multiplayer capabilities via the wireless adapter.